getting out to the property. About an hour drive, so I thought I'd do a live. So if I miss a comment, I'm sorry. Um, so I just thought I'd, talk a little bit about our project. Um, we've had a lot of stuff we've had to fix on the property. We've had a lot of stuff we had to fix on the property. Um, so what happened is a lot of people were wondering. We had some interesting stuff go down, and what happened is that we were working on our property and started the house build, and the framing all went on, and it was exciting, and our concrete was poured, and we noticed that there was a low spot because when it rained, there was like a little puddle. So we're dealing with that with the people who poured it, and just lots of stuff there. So and so we hire this company, and it's a building material company. Well, there was some confusion with that building material company about the way that they worded things. It wasn't in a contract. It wasn't in anything like that. The way that they worded things is that they were the contractor, basically. For the part of the building that was the concrete, the framing, and hi there, 12 stones, the concrete, the framing, and also the metal. And they actually, as part of the building package, they supplied those things. And so that was cool. So we were excited, and we, my husband was always calling and taking care of things and making sure things were happening. And that was all good. So things were going well. And then we noticed we hired somebody to come and look at the project. Um, we hired an inspector because we are new to this area. We don't know this company from Adam. And some things just looked a little rough. Hi there, break a leg. And Skinner, good to see you. Things were a little rough, and so we're like, okay, things are looking really rough. It slapped together so quickly, which happens a lot here in Clarksville, Tennessee. But I'm like, I'm looking at it with the bare knowledge that I have, going, things are looking a little like on the rough side. I don't know about this, and so we had the inspector come out, and he used to inspect for Clarksville, Tennessee. So he knows all the codes for Clarksville, Tennessee, and what should be done and what shouldn't be done. And we found out in our package that they put like 4-foot bolts in the ground to fasten our house to the cement, and that goes into like about a foot and a half of concrete. And the actual code here in Clarksville was 6. So we're like, we call them, and they're like, well, all we do is apply 4. There's no building codes where you live. So I'm like, okay, there's no building codes where we live, but shouldn't you let us know that you're only supplying us 4? You said that there was going to be bolts in the ground, but you didn't say what size those were. But we're newbies, so we don't know what questions to ask, right? We're homeowners. Um, we're contracting our own job, but we don't, we're newbies. So you think it would be an opportunity from a building supply company of a salesperson to upsell bigger bolts. They didn't. So we said we want bigger bolts, and they said, well, your package doesn't supply that. You'll have to pay extra if you want. Well, they never got back to us and never supplied them. So we bought bigger bolts. And then we said, well, the framing isn't right. We don't want to pay the framers until this framing is fixed. And so we called them and they said, well, you need to talk to the framer. We're like, wait a minute, you hired the framer. I don't understand why we need to talk to them. But we're responsible for paying them. That's how it goes with this. Hey, Star. And so we were like, okay, we'll talk to them. So we talked to them after a week and a half of them not contacting us. They didn't pay them. We didn't pay them. And so we finally said, okay, we need to contact the framer. So we did. And come to find out that this is how it works with this company, because there's no contract signed, even though they hired the framer and all of that, we're the person responsible for all the communication to them. Hi, Chris, Wyatt. So because we're the person responsible for all the communication to them, we have to fix the problem with them, even though that they hired them. Kind of silly, kind of weird. And okay, so same thing with the metal. So we're fine with the contractor because the guy has literally everything that we've asked him to fix. He has fixed. He has fixed it without giving us problems at all. He has fixed it without any problems at all, and we were fine. And he's a great man to talk to. Didn't give us any problems. He said, okay, I can see why that doesn't look right to you. I can see why that's not right. I couldn't hang drywall on that either. And he literally went through the whole thing and fixed it all with us. He was right there, and he did the same thing with the metal, making sure that when we were wrapping up the metal, he was right there fixing it with us as well. And so we were like, okay, I don't think we'll ever want to go through this building material place again. But since then, we've worked things out with them, and it's just been a hard communication. And so that's one of the things when you're contracting your own job, and we were contracting the whole job. It's just that we were going through them for building supply. Hi, Sheenie. Good to see you. So that was the issue with all that. So we like our contractor. He's actually coming back again and fixing another problem that we noticed, that our electrician noticed. Our electrician's been awesome. Our plumber's been awesome. Everybody who has that this company has hired and we've hired has been good. I don't know. The only people that the supply company hasn't been the greatest. Their materials are good and all of that stuff, but just know if you're going to go through a building supply company to have something built, that happens a lot out here in Tennessee. I'm sure it happens in a lot of other places. If there's upgrades to be made, like they were going to supply us for the roof, the paper, we paid for all of this, of course, the tin, and the roofing material. And if you want any upgrades on anything, the package is very basic, so you have to ask for more than the basic. And so, study what the codes are in your area. Hi there, Garden State Gardener. Study what the codes are in your area. In Dover, one of the reasons why I think they were getting away with a whole bunch is because Dover really doesn't have that many, or the city that we're in doesn't have that many codes. The only code that has to be inspected is septic, and you don't have to, uh, you have to pull a permit for electric. And those are the only things that you have to pull a permit for. And so it's just kind of crazy that you're like, okay, that's the only, and so they kind of take advantage of that out in these rural areas. Um, so, hey, Jan. Um, so they kind of take advantage of that in these rural areas, and so you really kind of have to do your homework on what the codes are and basic framing. I do recommend that you do what we did. It probably saved our butts um, down the road, because we would have got some backlash on when the drywallers would have been out there to do the drywall. They would have gone, wait a minute, this framing is really bad, and we have to do all these special cuts, and you're going to have waivers in your roof, and you're going to have this, and you're going to have that. So if we didn't have that inspector out there, they would have gone, oh, okay, I can't drywall this at the very least, at the very most, I should say. And so, stuff like that. Plumbers would have done their job, all that kind of stuff. Now, one of the things I'm going out for today, I'm running out to the property today, is that I'm the eyes on the ground. Chris is the handling all the billing, the hi bud files, the billing and all of that stuff. He's doing all the money stuff on this job. So far, we are under budget by a big number. Um, so because we have saved quite a bit of money on this job, we have done a few fun upgrades. Kind of a couple little dream upgrades. Some of the jobs, you will see at the end of it, we won't have everything done when we move in. We'll have everything done on my mother-in-law's side, but on our side, like vanity mirrors, they might take a while because I'm not finding the ones I want. And I'd rather wait for the ones I want than pay too much for one that I don't want. And so some of that kind of stuff is going on. One of the woes of being your own contractor is not knowing everything. Like the bathtub I ordered is a little on the small side for space. My husband said get a bigger bathtub, but I was looking at his budget and going, I can't afford a bigger bathtub. So I got a little bit smaller bathtub, and it looks a little weird in the space right now. Oh, thank you. Um, and so it's it's interesting. So there might be some things that we don't quite are happy with in the end, but we can't blame that on the builder because we're the builder. So that's one of the woes in building something yourself. Um, making sure that you have your countertops at the right height, making sure that you have the right sinks. That one of the things I think we did well, and that saved us a lot of money, or that is saving us a lot of money, is we, really did our homework on where to shop for things. Like for countertops, it's an upgrade, a big upgrade, but we've done our homework. So we're saved $2,000 on that item. So you will see in some of the videos that are coming up, you'll see that countertop pretty soon here. We went shopping for that, and yeah, it's a big upgrade. So we're excited about that. We're excited about some of the things that you can do when you're building your own custom home. Like one of the things that we've done is we have our outside spigots. We have a hot and cold. Um, and because we have an on-demand hot water tank, we can do that. So we literally have a hot and a cold, and um, we can fill up a hot tub with hot water. We can wash the dog or an animal outside, and we can do all that. So that's the awesome thing about that is that we can do that. So um, if I lose you, I apologize. I'm now on a freeway where I'm going really rural, and there's a couple really dead spots out here. So if it's over, it's over. So I apologize ahead of time. But I haven't been doing lives lately, and so I'm trying to get back into those. So anyway, so that's what's going on with the project. Just a lot of tomorrow. The range is coming originally wanted, but that's okay. We got a comparable Ninja, a comparable range, um, and just different things like that. So that's happened. Um, we ordered our dishwasher. That's also coming tomorrow. One of the things that we uh, don't have, and we won't have for our property, our driveway would cost like $40,000 to do. So that's not in the budget. We might do a couple spots on that. My mother-in-law is not happy about it, but we just don't have the money for it because the well costs so much money, and we have to do some other things for water because we only have half a gallon a minute on our well. Uh, but we just heard, okay, you want to talk about horror stories? Our neighbor is having all kinds of horror stories. Hi, Passamaquoddy. Um, she has hired some of our contractors that we're using for her job. She went with different contractors and has hired ours because her contractors mess things up so poorly. Hi, our new land. How you doing? Her contractors mess things up so poorly that she's had to redo stuff. We had another neighbor that did a well, went down 800 feet. We only had to go down 417 or something like that. We have half a gallon a minute, which sounds horrible, and it is. She went down 800 feet and has no water. So she literally comes to the city and picks up water every week and buys it from out of one of the fire hydrants. So, I mean, at least we don't have to do that, right? So, hello there, Chuck. Thank you for coming by. Sorry, and let this be an opportunity. I haven't been on anybody's live. I haven't. Rarely, I do. I try to sneak in there, but literally, my days are running around, doing stuff for the job, and then I have to get up early every morning, so the late night lives are hard to join. It's just really hard, and I didn't know it was going to be. I thought because we were just mostly filming, I thought I was just filming, but I have a lot more to do than that. I'm not only filming, I'm running around and taking care of all the business that has to be done in town while my husband works. Uh, but I have the fun job of picking out tile with the budget. So uh, one of the things that I'm looking at tile backsplash, but one of the things that, because we've got our dream countertops, I don't know if we want to spend a lot of money on tile right now. So what we might do is Amazon has a backsplash that's just metal, stainless steel, $45. We might just order that. I am going to look at tile anyways. Um, So that might be something that we buy now, just a piece of metal. So we save the back of our stove and or the back, our backsplash, and then replace it with tile later. You know, and learn how to do it ourselves. So, but I have to look at tile today for the backsplash, and we have to get tile around our tub area. And so I have to measure that. Of course, I don't have measuring tape. I've got a measuring tape. So hopefully somebody on the job there has a measuring tape. In Caucasian Sasquatch, good to see you. So hopefully somebody has a measuring tape around the job so that I can measure that area and kind of take down the specs for that. If not, I'll use the ruler on my phone. So, yeah, so that's what we're doing today. It's been nice and muddy on the job, so hopefully tomorrow, no, sorry, Friday, when they come out and deliver the range and the, uh, yeah, the range and the microwave, not microwave, range and the dishwasher, sorry. Um, the range and the dishwasher might be a little on the hard side, but to get out there, so hopefully we don't have anybody get stuck. Our porta potty guy went out to clean out our porta potty that we have on site, and he got stuck on the property the other day. So that was sad. And but it's because we don't have a driveway, and $40,000. I don't know if you guys have looked at. Um, we have an alternative loan for this property, but we're not using uh, most of it. Um, and one of the things we are not loaning money for is for driveway. Um, we're not putting $40,000 on home loan at uh, at 7%, and that's we have really great credit. That's just the going rate right now. So if you're buying a home, um, 7%, I'm not paying what it would be like. I'm not putting credit card money on to have a driveway when our cars will go through the mud. So it's just the way it is. We're not spending that money. Um, so it's just kind of sad, but um, we are borrowing is the least amount as possible. We have paid so much more in cash for this property, and I think we are paying cash for the rest of the loan. I think we only ordered or only paid for, as far as on a home loan, is like the package for the home and the concrete. So we're having very little on a loan at all. Um, we wanted to do it all cash, but we just couldn't happen. So, but that's the way it goes sometimes, and that's the way it's going to be sometimes. So, but we have a large percentage of our cash flow is going to we have cash for the rest of the property. So, you know, so I look at when I go to look at tile today, I'm going to be looking at okay, this tile is nice, but I can get a backsplash for $45. That looks pretty good. Isn't what I want, isn't my dream, but and then save up the money for the backsplash. So those are the big decisions we're making right now. Um, so the driveway to get it done properly is $40,000. Um, do we want to loan that money at 7%, which may not seem a lot, but on $40,000, In this day and age, um, you know, when you already have a property loan, you don't want to add much to that. We want to be, we're in our 50s, so early 50s, so we want to pay things off as quickly as possible. So we want a loan. I mean, our dream when we moved here was to literally move into this tiny house and do it all cash. But what happened is my mother-in-law, she moved out here with us, and she's like, there's not a whole lot of senior housing out here. So what happened is she wanted to move in with us. So we pooled our money together and we're building a house. And that's why this is happening. So um, we were going to do it all cash. And we had, a good chunk of the cash to do that with until we started looking at homes. So that's what's happening, guys. So I think, we'll wrap this up in a few minutes. Does anybody have any questions about the property so far? I'll try to answer it, but I got to keep an eye on the road too because we're real rural, and you know, the speed changes and stuff like that, and I might lose. Uh, Pretty soon here, we're going to come into a dead area, unfortunately. So if I'm cracking up, I'm sorry. Please let me know. I think I'll end the chat now. Good morning, Evelyn. How are you doing? Oh, no worry about being late. No worries at all. I thank you for coming in. Does anybody else have any questions about the property so far? Um, Thank you so much, Belinda and Chuck. Right now I'm looking at three Black Hawk helicopters flying overhead. We live close to a military base where there's a lot of helicopter stuff, and we see Black Hawks and a lot of stuff all the time. It's really cool. Um, my brother-in-law, who lives out here with us, actually bought the property next to us. Yes, we're going to have one tank to collect water um, because we have enough water to run our house by our well, but we won't have enough water for gardens and animals and stuff like that. So we are going to have a tank run off. We're getting gutters soon, and you can start collecting water. I have some totes. I'm going to start collecting water in those. But we're also going to get one of these big tanks to put in the ground to water the garden and any other thing that needs to happen, which is what I like because actually rainwater is better for your garden. So if you're collecting rainwater, as long as it's filtered good, it's actually better for your garden than regular water that has chemicals in it. So I'm all good with that. So um, so we'll collect the water that we don't have to over process and use it for the gardens and for animals. So that's what we're going to do with that. We are So this week what's happening is we have plumbing that's been put in. Um, Electrical has gone in, is going in as we speak. I'm meeting the electrician today. Um, and right after electrical is done, um, HVAC is coming in and doing their work. So HVAC is coming in and doing that. Um, I think starting tomorrow. And then the inspector for the electrical will come in on that, and they'll check everything. Hi, Tammy. How are you doing today? So, so that's exciting. Um, so that part will be done, and then this weekend, my husband and I are going out there, and we are putting in blocking for the, sorry, I gotta check my speed here. I'm going through a school zone. We are putting in blocking for the cabinets so that we have a bigger area. And we're doing a lot of that out of scrap wood. Um, we did buy wood too, and so we have to put the blocking in, and then there's a wall that we have to put in that didn't get framed in a shower area. So we're going to do that. My husband and I are going to do that together ourselves. So yeah, if you guys type the word love in, it will share your link, and there you go. Um, so yeah, so we'll put the blocking in. So we are going to do some work on the house ourselves. We are probably going to hang the cupboards ourselves too. We are looking for somebody for that. Yes, please share. um, so we um, we're going to hang the cabinets, and so that we're doing all ourselves probably, and we're doing the wall, we're doing the blocking, and then I think later on we're going to start on chicken coops and garden. We're running a little late on the garden, but in the back you'll see I have a bunch of soil that I'm taking over, that literally from our rental house. I'm taking over the soil that we had there in buckets and things, and bringing it over to the property and mixing it with our compost so that we have something to grow in this summer. But we may not have a garden until the fall. I'm hoping we have it done by summer. I may not have time to do seeds this year. May have to buy plants, starters this year instead of actually starting from seed. We'll see. I have so much seed, I hate to do that. So, um, so the actual, we're looking at also that will probably be in our house in 2 months, um, by the way things are going. And um, as long as the water gets done. So, um, so things are going good, and hopefully we'll get it all done soon. So I think we're going to wrap it up here today, guys. Thank you for watching. God bless you guys, and we'll see you around. I'm probably in and out right now. So much love. God bless. Bye.